Hey everyone. So normally I would have like Liz with me or another friend and we'd be talking about a topic together. But today's going to be a little bit different. I've just had something like really heavy on my heart lately, and I know I've had a lot of conversations with different people and they can relate to it. So I figured I would share. I am at that place where I'm just like questioning everything and questioning like, am I doing enough? And I hate when I get to this point because I know I'm doing enough, but like part of me is like, am I? And I just like sometimes like question my purpose, question if I'm like feeding into everyone enough around me. So I guess I'm gonna start like with work first. So it's so hard in leadership not letting all of the emotions get to you. And sometimes you like wonder, are you doing a good enough job? And lately I've really been feeling that way. And I think it's something really common right now in workplace. There's so much burnout everywhere after the pandemic. I mean, people were dealing with stuff at home. People were dealing with stuff at work. People had sick family members, or people, I'm not giving my views on COVID. So this is totally just across the board, but people will be like, not believing in COVID, so then they have this like tension built up and they're not wanting to follow the COVID rules, and so there's just so much, right? And so it's so easy for people to come into work with this negative headspace. So then there's just this negative energy all around, and it feeds into everybody. And you know the phrase, like, it takes one bad apple to ruin the rest, right? Well, at one point we're all bad apples, and I think during a pandemic it's so much more common to have that. So like at work, morale at an all-time low, and I have an intern and we're starting to like do things to boost the morale. So in a workplace, you have to sometimes as leadership to evaluate your worth and if you're doing enough, to take a step back and look at the picture as a whole rather than like individual emotions. And I like go so back and forth with even saying that because I'm such a person that like feels other emotions so deeply. But you have to look at the business perspective, right, too. So like, are you doing enough? So for me, like, the business is still growing, we're expanding. So I have to remember that like physically I am doing enough, okay? And now I just need to work on like emotionally, like being able to like pour in those people and boost into those people. But like it's so hard to feel like you're doing a good enough job when you do know people are struggling, right? And then being able to feed in those people when you're like feeling like you aren't doing a good enough job. But as leadership, you just have to remember, like, you always have to be the bigger person and you have to be able to put your own feelings aside. And so being a working mom is so hard for me because I'm spending all of this energy all day long trying to pour into these people, like digging and digging and digging and trying to grow this business. And then when I get home, I'm exhausted. But I know I need to still pour into my own family. So it's so hard to be able to do the two, because by the time you get home, like, you're so exhausted and you're stressed and you're just feeling defeated. And then when you're at work, you're like thinking about your family, like, I should be there and taking care of them rather than here pouring into this so much. So balancing the two is so hard. At work, I just feel like, like, am I doing enough here? I should be spending more energy here. And then when I'm at home, I'm always thinking about work and thinking I'm not doing enough there. So, it's tough, and it's like a really weird time that we're in. So relating to work, I had a conversation the other day with someone, and my husband and I always have this same conversation, and it's about like knowing you're like doing so well for yourself, but then like always wanting more. And like, I just want to know, like, who can relate to that, right? Like, you are doing so much work, you're doing good for the age that you're at, but like you're always wanting more. And it's so hard to pause and just be grateful for where you're at. But like as humans, we have to do that, because if you don't, you're gonna just wear yourself out. You're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna spend all of your energy focusing on the next step rather than enjoying what's right in front of you in the moment. 5-10 years ago, I was like praying to be where I am now. Like, and I never thought it was gonna be possible. You know, like I remember at one point in my life, I was like telling somebody, oh, you know, like one day I'm gonna be the CEO of a medical facility. I'm gonna be driving around my white Mustang with a tan rag top. And I was laughed at. And like that hurt, you know, because that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm not good enough. Like I can't have that. Like what am I thinking, you know? And then you do it and you're like, holy shit. Like I do know my worth. And it's just like crazy to me that I am where I am. And 5-10 years ago, I couldn't even dream of being where I am, you know, like that's why it's heavy in my heart, like being so grateful for where you are and like enjoying every moment of it. I have 3 kids, you know, I have a great husband, I have a great marriage, I have a great job. I just need to pause and be grateful. And I know so many of you can probably relate to that. And I don't know if it's like that age that we're at, because a lot of the conversations that I've had are people around my age feeling the same way. So I would love to have a conversation with maybe somebody a little older or even somebody a little younger and just kind of see if they feel the same way, if it's something that's just going to happen throughout life, you know, but like learning to prevent that from happening, like stopping and really being grateful, truly just soaking in every minute, because at one point you dreamed of being in this moment. And I feel like we lose so much time and so many precious moments that we should be enjoying, but we're not, because we're always just wanting that next step, the next step, the next step. So it's going to be a short video today, but over the next week, I want to challenge you to stop thinking about the next thing, right? Like it's okay to have your goals. It's okay to follow them and want to accomplish them and to always be taking the next step to get there, but don't always be wishing for that next thing. Like stop, pause, take a look around you, look at where you were 5 years ago and look and see the progress that you made and where you are now. And even if it's not where you thought you would be or where you wanted to be, stop and just look and see what you have. Be grateful for everything. Like I said, I have 3 great kids. I have a great job. I have a great marriage. And I'm not a CEO of a medical facility, but I am leading a medical facility. And I feel that I'm doing a great job when I look at the whole picture. And I'm not driving my white Mustang with a tan top, but I'm driving a nice Flex that I love. It's convenient because I have 3 kids and it gets me to where I want to be. And it has the features that I wanted. So I challenge you over the next week to stop, be grateful for where you are, stop thinking about where you should be or where you wish you were. Just look at everything that you have, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear like how you stopped yourself from just always wanting the next thing and how you're able to be grateful. And I want to have a conversation with somebody maybe a little bit older, somebody who's maybe been through more like tragedy or more growth than I have, different aspects of growth. And then somebody younger than me that feels the same way, or someone younger than me that's already learned how to stop always wanting the next thing and being grateful for where they are. So if any of those people are you, please reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you, because it is something that I really struggle with, and I think it would be great to share with one another our experiences. So I hope you all have a great week. Enjoy the moment. Be grateful for the world around you, and I'm really looking forward to talking with some of you. Bye.